This is Eye on Hong Kong with Key.
And this is Harminder, and we'll be discussing the top news for the week involving Hong Kong and China. Hey, and welcome to the 51st episode of Eye on Hong Kong.
And we have table because we received so many complaints about our legs last episode because we're on the couch.
I prefer the table. Then I can eat whatever I want
prefer
and
showing
hide
my
under
legs.
the table.
I prefer showing my legs.
I prefer not showing my stomach. Anyways, as usual, it's another interesting week in the city. And you know what? I think we should start it off with the national anthem of this city. So why don't we play that video clip right now and stand for the anthem? Well, that wasn't exactly what I... Hong Kong. Yeah. And that wasn't exactly what I expected. I was standing for the damn anthem.
Oh, how could you not standing up?
Well, I was with that fat guy in the corner.
He was swearing.
Quite upset by people booing the national anthem.
Really? Because of that?
Yeah, you heard it.
I thought he was the one who's swearing at it because they play it.
No, he was swearing at him for booing the national anthem.
Interesting. Why people booing?
Well, it's a packed house, number one. So imagine 6,000 people at Mongkok Stadium booing the anthem.
Yeah.
And they're booing it because, look, this is what it's come down to.
What happened? I mean, why suddenly... First of all, why suddenly so many people going to watch football? I thought nobody wants to watch the Hong Kong football.
Well... Thanks to the Chinese Football Association's wonderful posters,
right,
promoting their next matchups with Hong Kong, Bhutan, and Qatar,
right.
It kind of pissed people off.
Because
the poster. Oh, you described the poster.
It's actually in the poster. It says that this team we shouldn't underestimate them because they consist of white, black, yellow people,
and they play as a team or some stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
and we have.
We're the brown people. We're the brown people. You forgot the brown people. Oh, right. We don't exist. We're lower than dirt. Right?
No, you can, mix it with the black and the yellow, and then you can become,
brown.
Yeah.
Yes. It kind of stirred people to come watch the game, and apparently all the next games are sold out too. So that's great for the Hong Kong team.
Right.
To actually get packed houses.
Yes.
You know how China's stirring up nationalistic fervor right now because of their faltering economy. Hong Kong's doing it by themselves by stirring it up, fervor for their city, right? Their special administrative region. I don't want to go further or I might get in trouble. And, they are now so distrustful, and most of those people were young.
Right.
The young people under 40 are absolutely distrustful, except Dominic Lee of the Liberal Party, or Holden Chow of the DAB. They just do not trust the mainland, the CCP, none of it. After the whole political package thing, they have come to the realization that they will not get what was promised to them, or at least something even close.
I mean, for me, is the PLC national anthem is kind of ridiculous to me, because I mean, actually, it's ridiculous I won't even stand up. I won't acknowledge that, because it's the song of the CCP.
Yeah,
and
It's not that I'm against the anthem of China.
Right.
It's just that this was written by the Communist Party, and that is where my support.
I mean, I would respect any other country's national anthem. I mean, if in Thailand, then you go to the cinema, then they play the national anthem.
You're kidding.
Then
before a movie?
Yes.
Really?
And then I do stand up because I respect the country. And I will also stand up for Taiwan national anthem as well, but never for the PRC because, I mean, a lot of Hong Kong parents...
Hey, if North Korea was here, I wouldn't stand up for theirs either.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people in Hong Kong, they came from China because they escaped the CCP. How could I stand up and salute to it?
Exactly. People just ignore history. They're like, oh, look how wonderful our country is now with all this economy. The environment sucks. There's still a massive rich-poor gap. The people are being thrown out of their houses for the sake of economic drive and all that. The economy is now faltering. And when it does, look, it's not that I wish for it to falter. It's just that when you command and control an economy like that, the economy is stronger than any government. Free market is stronger than any government. And it's proving it right now. That's why they have only 5 to 7% growth. Pathetic, right? Where they said we were going to have 10, 20% for the next 30 years. There's still a massive low-income population.
Right.
And a very small 1% of the ultra rich, and then a small rich class, nouveau riche, and then the middle class. They're still very small compared to the rest of the country.
I mean, it's probably people feeling really great about China because they become so strong, so proud of having this great country. But please think about the history of this CCP. And the song of this, what it represents, and do you think that you can answer to your grandfather when you go to hell?
Exactly. I mean, can we put this into perspective?
Is it the new terms in
this
Hong
week?
Kong?
This is the new term this week. But
put things in perspective.
The thing about the lyrics is the part where it says "braving the enemy's gunfire, march on." I mean, come on. You know, who believes that right now? Brave, what gunfire? You know,
I probably is just a metaphor, like saying that you have to struggle against your enemy.
No. This was like, for some reason, this is the control that the CCP has over its citizens. That somehow they're always being attacked.
Yeah. It's just like last week when Zhang Xiaomin, when he
liaison officer,
and then he said he will continue the struggle with the pandemic. It seems that
the struggle. Yeah. You know where that comes from.
With the
Cultural Revolution.
Exactly. Yeah. They seem to constantly finding the enemy to struggle to have pointing the gunfire at.
Yeah.
So that's completely representing what they're actually living what the national anthem said. Yeah,
you know, there was a national anthem for 4 years from 78 to 82. And instead of braving the enemy's gunfire, march on, it was raise high Mao Zedong's banner, march on.
Well.
I wonder why they don't use that still.
I don't know.
You know?
It's, so... I do understand why people boo. I actually expect that probably next match.
Lead us continuing the long march.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean next week they will. I think that the people will do the same thing too.
What?
The
national anthem.
Yeah,
probably. That fat guy will be there to swear at them. All right, moving on. We have I don't know if it's the end or just part of the continuing story of the 12-year-old illegal mainland child, Siu-wai, whatever you want to call him. So
what about him?
Well, now the grandmother is saying that Chan Yun-han, the FTU legislator, told them that they found his parents. They're waiting for them relatives at the border, and they'll take him back. Right. They get there, nobody's there.
Mm-hmm.
And they interviewed, the Ming Pao found their parents.
Right.
And they said, there's no way we're going to take him back, which is disgusting to me.
I think so too.
Of any parent to say that. And then the South China Morning Post found the grandmother somewhere in Guangdong, and they're like, we have nowhere to go, no place to go, blah blah blah. We have no papers. We're worse than. So I don't know what's going on anymore.
I mean, when I got the message, when I read,
you got the message from her.
When I read the news about the mother was saying, I just think parents' love is kind of overrated in China, because how could you say something like that?
Yeah, I don't want him.
Yeah,
he's a child, damn it.
She said, I abandoned him 10 years ago, and why would I want him back? And apparently she often come to Hong Kong to go to the temple to pray.
God, I mean, do they pray, but don't they believe in karma or an afterlife or something?
Exactly.
If you're an atheist, maybe you can say, oh, well, I can do whatever I want. There is no consequence to what I do. Well, even if you don't believe that, I still think there's a law of the universe that comes back to bite you in the ass.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
But one more funny thing is that now Chen Yunhan, she called the Popo before she was very close to call her the Popo,
grandmother,
the nanny, and now she called her my client.
My client. Suddenly now it's my client. Now that things have gone downhill for you, right? Because she's tried to score political points out of this, and it totally blew up in their face.
Right.
So, good job.
Good job, yeah.
Siu-wai Leung's in Toronto, my old stomping grounds.
Right. And any protest?
Yeah, there were crappy weather, and still people came. Well, Canada, what do you expect? Crappy weather, except the 2 months of summer. And still people came out to protest, yellow umbrellas, colonial flags, the whole 9 yards. And apparently security was super tight there. More than here.
But what's the press in Toronto? Do they like him, or what? Do they?
I don't know. I don't know if they even mentioned him, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I didn't see it.
Big deal.
I follow the Facebook streams and stuff like that of the Toronto Star and Globe and Mail and the National Post and all that. I didn't really read anything about it. It might have been a blurb somewhere on page 12 saying Siu-wai Leung's in town next. It's not like Canada exactly is taking the charge to help the democracy movement. They're just got their thumb up their butt saying, Hong Kong should have universal suffrage.
Well,
thank you, Li Ka-shing, for buying out Calgary. Yeah.
To be fair, then the Canadian consulate in Hong Kong is the first one or the only one who make a statement on the June 4th.
I can make a statement right now. Does it mean anything?
At least it's a good gesture, unlike the
American.
The Jack Union one.
Oh, the United Kingdom. Well, they're the biggest brown nosers of them all, aren't they?
I know.
Well, there goes my chance of getting Carolyn Wilson on the show. Okay. Consul General. Now, we also have this big problem with MERS happening in South Korea.
Yes.
There was a scare this week by one of the people returning from South Korea recently, going to a private clinic in Chingyi.
Yes.
The Chingyi MTR station, the Airport Express station. And it caused a panic. But thank God, all suspected cases have come back negative so far.
Right.
But South Korea really dropped the ball when it comes to MERS.
Because I think probably is different. I mean, Hong Kong people are quite sensitive about this kind of
SARS.
Yes, because of SARS, and we lived in a very crowded area, but in South Korea probably it's because they're bigger, so they don't really have this kind of urgency to
But it's spreading like wildfire right now. It reminds me so much of the way China handles SARS. They try to cover it up. They say it's no big deal. Everything's under control. And then when they finally fessed up, it was a full-blown outbreak.
Right.
It's crazy that China gave us SARS, and then we opened the borders. Now we're in this situation that we're at.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you. 2 thumbs up.
So, moving on from...
Oh, one more point. I have to actually say that at the clinic in Chingyi, I think they actually very honest, and I appreciate that they disclose all the cases, actually.
Yes, no, that was good. For the more information people give, the more at ease people feel about what's going on.
I think other clinics should do the same too.
Yeah, and the government and South Korea, everybody. Just be open and honest.
Right.
So you got a full-blown outbreak. People will take more precautions. They won't panic. They won't jump into the sea. You know what I mean? They'll just stay home most likely and put on masks and stuff like that, and only send one family member out as sacrifice to go get the groceries or something.
Right.
Raymond Chan, our guest last week.
Him again.
Legislator Raymond Chan has filed a complaint with the EOC.
Finally. He showed us last time the form.
And also replied in the South China Morning Post against Michael Chugani's
interesting.
Post about... let's put it into perspective. Well, maybe they weren't really going after him because he was gay. Maybe they just didn't like his politics. And because he calls them 689, that means they wanted to get back at him. And, of course, that really annoyed me because while we're trying to fight prejudice against certain races, he's defending prejudice against sexual orientation.
Yeah, but at the same time, he make a good point, though. I would say that he said it's a
free speech.
Yeah, it's a free speech.
No, the whole article wasn't bad. I didn't rip the entire article. I wrote my own article, and you can find that on news.mimi.com.
We can put it on here.
I should have sent it to our producer.
Here.
Yeah, just search my name and it'll come up. Or you can go to our ION Hong Kong Facebook page or our Twitter. That's where it is. The link. And I just rebutted by saying that how does Raymond Chan's penis size and the way he has sex, because you listen to the women, they're like you take it like a woman, right? Well, how does that what does that have to do with anything with his politics or the way he mocks Siu-wai or sarcasm or he's never used bad language. Wong has, but not him. Right? Or calling him 689. Well, 689 is not an insult. It's true.
It's a fact.
It's a fact, right? You cannot insult somebody with a fact.
I remember one time I was interviewed in the CL2, and then I was asking about the copyright thing, and then the host asked me, "What if someone patent or or trademark the 689? Is it possible?
No.
And then sue you?" And I said, but it's a fact. How could you copyright it? And then, sometimes people. Oh, it's so funny though. He's just making a joke.
That reminds me though of a case. A little off topic, sorry, but this reminds me of a case where Monster, the headphone and cable company, tried to trademark Monster. The actual word monster, not monster cable, monster.
I heard someone try to trademark 揚州炒飯, the fried rice.
Yeah. 揚州炒飯, yeah. Quite yummy too.
Yeah. So it's quite funny that people try to misuse this copyright thing. But anyway, coming back to...
I'm going to trademark Bolo Kaisi 炒飯. How's that? Okay.
Coming back to the Chigani's article, what I'm saying that is free speech, and some people may say that is an attack on some particular race or these sexual minorities too. So, but what I think is that Michael Chigani has a very good sense of fashion.
He does.
Yeah, he said these two lady very well dressed.
Oh, because they look like the typical tie-ties that you see. Their husbands are probably wealthy and they're just out shopping.
Yeah, and actually someone
go at lunchtime. How many do you see at one table at dim sum, chatting away and with their designer bags and stuff like that?
Someone actually said that the yellow that the lady wore.
Yeah, that's ironic.
It's actually the most popular color.
She should be wearing blue.
Right.
Yeah. But that's where I had a problem with it. I did agree with him that it shouldn't be criminalized. I did agree it was their free speech, but it comes with consequences. And I did agree with him saying that why aren't the legislators also fighting for ethnic minorities the same way that they fight for sexual orientation like they did, because they were outraged and so many people shared articles and stuff like that. But when it happens to an ethnic minority, it seems to be like a non-issue. It's just they just pay lip service saying we got to help them.
Okay. Yeah, true.
But the thing is that being an ethnic minority, I can't hide that. I can't hide the color of the pigmentation in
but
my
you can tell people that you
outer epidural layer. You know what I mean? I can't do that. You know. Now, being gay, you don't. There's no way to exactly say that guy's gay, right?
Wow, not really. Sometimes you get so spot on.
If it's obvious, of course it's obvious sometimes.
Some gay people do very loud.
Yes, I know. Some are very loud gay people, but most people that are gay and that are just normal everyday people, they target Ray Chan because he's openly gay and he's a public figure. But a private person who's gay, a lot of people who for some reason attend anti-gay churches, anyways, you can't tell that they're gay, you know. And they don't face the same kind of discrimination that ethnic minorities do. That's my point.
I see. I never thought about from that perspective, but I understand now. And I just think that. But one point is that Michael Chikani take on.
It's still wrong though. Either way, discriminating.
True. And he's make a point saying that Ray Chan only fighting for the gay rights and not really speaking so loud for the ethnic minorities. But I think it's quite it's not fair to say that because he's the gay legislator. Of course, the main task for him to fight for is
no doubt. Okay, and people power is like the civic parties, some of the most progressive. Truly progressive, not in an authoritarian sense, political parties out there.
Right.
But I see both issues tied together.
I do see the issue related, and they should have I would hope that the pro-gay legislators would also speak for the ethnic minority based on.
Legislators, only one.
Pro-gay
that we know of.
Well, no, we have quite a lot of pro-gay legislators, like Sid Ho and.
Oh,
Claudia
you mean they're pro-gay in their stance, not that they are gay themselves.
No. Yeah, so I think they could still still.
Let's continue.
Why? But because they should speak for. All minorities on the basis of equality.
Yes, that's my point.
Of course, then like Claudia Mo, then seems that she's the one who's working on the ethnic minorities.
Yes, she is.
For the gay issue, then would be the Ray Chan and
sure. So, but it'd be great if more got together and said we're not going to take this crap anymore. It's just wrong. And if it was more frequent and it's more, we have more debate and we talk about it more, eventually people will be just not. First of all, I will say that I have a lot of faith in the under 40s because most of them are educated overseas.
I'm so happy that you include me under 40.
Most of them are educated overseas. Most of them have had experience in English-speaking countries. Most of them have had... and even the young people, they watch so much of the Hollywood television and the and all this stuff. They see black people and white people and Chinese people and all these types of people working together on these shows and movies and stuff. It just starts to become normal to them because it's really the young people that, if I'm on the MTR, that sit next to me. But once they are older or don't look like they've opened a book in a long time, they're the ones who usually stay away.
Do they really actually stay away? I mean, do they?
It happened to me today, but on the bus.
They stand up?
No.
Or
it was a packed bus, okay. And I normally like to sit all the way in the back because the seats are a little higher and there's more leg room. Right, good for me. And put my bag against the window. Okay, so that's a window, seat, and then me.
All right.
Okay, I see the bus is getting packed. So what I usually do is pick it up and move to the window. Okay?
Right.
This family of 3 comes in. Now, there's 5 seats on this, right?
Right.
One is already taken at the other window by some kid, okay? And then this family of 3 gets on. Mother, father, and daughter. Daughter and mother sit next to the kid, and then the seat next to me is free for him. He looks at the seat, looks at me, and sits in the seat in front of it that had one seat free. So he'd rather sit like that than sit with his family next to, camel jockey like me. You know what I mean?
Maybe you're too big to say. Right?
I don't think
come
so.
on.
I don't think so.
Look at you.
I don't.
You occupy more than one seat.
No, I don't. Okay, I'm not obese. Okay, I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, but I'm not obese. When I take an economy flight. Okay.
They charge you more.
They don't charge me more for 2 seats. Okay, I do not need greasing of the sides to fit into the seats. I fit very well.
Yeah, because you take the American airline, not Cathay Pacific.
I do take CX. All I do is take CX. What are you talking about? One of their best customers. All right. So that's it may have been true 3 years ago.
Oh, come on. Why would you expect a guy sitting next to you?
It doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl. Well, actually, it's mostly women that sit next to me. Thank you. But
maybe he doesn't want to sit next to a guy.
I'm on the MTR. The seat's even smaller, and every time I'm in Hong Kong Island, for some reason, then they'll sit next to me. Once you cross the harbor, it becomes like racist land or something. I don't know why this island is the only one that has some brains. But I'm just saying. Could you imagine if the people who are doing it went into another country and that happened? They go to their counselor, their congressman. Yeah. They'd make a stink about it. It'd be on MSNBC. It'd be on CNN. It'd be on YouTube. All this stuff. But hey, guys like us and women like us, we wear like us. Women of the same ethnic minorities, right? Have to face this every single day, and it's annoying.
Then don't you think that the football incident actually making Hong Kong people to believe that
under 40s?
Okay, yeah.
See right there. But so I can't wait till you racists drop dead. That's my point. Yeah.
But don't you remember that I think 1 or 2 years ago when there was an incident, a tragedy happened in the Philippines, and also a football match.
And I'm sorry, but Ray Chan was involved with that.
They said that they try to push the Philippines president to.
Oh, let us start banning people coming here.
I think it's a way that they try to push for an apology at that time.
There are better ways than doing that. You don't blame everybody for a few people's mistake.
No, they blame a particular group of people that's domestic.
Yeah, let's blame the entire country for what a bunch of morons who train all day but don't know what to do when it really happens.
But that bunch of morons represent the government.
Yes. So blame the government. Cut their diplomatic status off.
I think it's also a very interesting discussion on about the current movement or the current activist approach here as well. Because a lot of people think that is not effective, even you target on the government. So what they are trying to do is to take it another way. They don't really care about the moral high grounds. They don't care about the moral standard at all.
Yeah. No, more high ground. That's actually correct. Because when Chugani came out with his article, and then I came out with mine, and they thought it was Chugani who wrote the second article. You look at the comments, and it was like, go back to India.
No, I think
curry eating SOB and all this really nasty stuff at the bottom.
I think the reason why they said that is because Chugani was the one who's saying that you had to put it in perspective. And then people, if they think that is not a discriminatory comments or attack by those ladies, then it's okay for them to say it. So they ask Chugani to take that kind of comment.
You see what I mean? But that's the thing. You lose the moral high ground when you fight the same way that other dirty mofos fight as well. You know what I mean? You do not want to stoop to their level. See, that's the whole war on terror thing, right? Oh, we must torture because that's how we're going to win the war on terror. Well, no, the bad guys torture. The good guys don't torture. The same thing is like this. The bad people discriminate and say nasty, prejudice, stereotypical stuff. The good people do not, even when they get mad at a certain person.
That's a very ideal way that I think. But I think that the bad guy torture and then the good guy torture behind the door, and the good people who wouldn't scold people with a nasty thing, but we only scold people in our hearts.
Oh, okay. Well, if you put it that way,
reality, though.
Yeah, but Just a side note about that torture thing is that most of the information they get is complete BS because they just want the torture to stop. Anyways, some good news for me. ATV has found a new secret investor.
Oh, right.
Don't ask me. I don't know who it is. Okay? I've already been asked. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
So at least they will survive and we'll see you more on ATV.
At least until April. So
that's good. Next year, April.
Yeah, next year, April. So
congratulations.
Thank you. But I wonder who this investor group is. They said they'll reveal it next week.
Some rumors say that it's an online platform.
Who? Lee TV?
Yeah.
LE TV? They bought it out? Well, fine. Then come out.
But the thing
but
is,
why so secret?
Maybe they have a confidentiality clause. Or if it's Ricky Wong, that would be a big news. Everybody would be... He's quite quiet last week.
Yeah. He's been quiet lately, Ricky. Where have you been? You know what I mean? But really, I don't know who this new secret investor is.
We'll see.
It could be shell companies owned by the liaison office, like the bookstores.
But at the same time, they actually some companies are fighting for the frequency, the free-to-air frequency.
Yeah, and they're not getting a license back. But this group apparently wants to get a license. Now, here's the question. Will the government suddenly fast-track this license?
How? Then people would, judicial review them if they, fast-track it. So they have to go by step by step.
They could use an excuse saying, well, they've had it before, and now they have a good plan. Everything's established, so there's no need to delay. They'll come up with some excuse, trust me.
Trust me, then people will challenge it. I'm quite sure.
Leave us alone. At least leave the English station alone. Here's something interesting. Ex-legislator Nelson Wong from the Democratic Party, the black sheep of the Democratic Party, Nelson Singti. Wong Singti.
He has an English name.
Yeah, Nelson Wong. He is now really hitting back against his own party, calling them unethical, unfair, and disrespectful because he faces expulsion. Because he's saying support the package. And so is Tik Ji-yoon, another Democratic Party member.
I think they make a wrong bet, and then they thought that the poll wouldn't have these what happened last week, that actually more people support to veto the package.
He's saying, why are you going after me when you should be going after the person that leaked the fact that I was about to start a petition within the party?
But he's the one who...
Are you serious?
I'm so lucky that he didn't got elected last time.
He's very anti-gay, isn't he?
I know.
Yeah, I remember that old controversy. But then at the same time, Claudia Mo, Alan Leung, and James To were cleared of wrongdoing when it came to receiving money from Jimmy Lai.
Right.
Okay? Because apparently they received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Jimmy Lai's hacked emails, and the Legislative Council cleared those to Alan Leung and Claudia Mo completely, and they were split on James To, and the chairman had to cast the final vote to say no. I wonder why. And the chairman was a pro-government legislator. His name eludes me right now. I don't know if it was Wong Kwok-hing or something like that, but it was a pro-government guy. And, he said no. I think it's because they don't want this to somehow come out in the future about them. And they hope that the Pan-Democrats will support not looking into their finances and where their money is coming from.
So we have one last video clip.
We do?
Yes,
okay.
And it's a very interesting clip that we want to play to you. What happened in the Legislative Council? Let's see.
Okay. I haven't seen this one.
一個小組委員會召開首次會議選舉主席，由於小組只有3名議員，選舉主席時候出現咗少少混亂。
What we see is saying,
oh God.
And they're trying to elect one of the chairman of this committee. And saying nominated himself. And then Tommy Chan said, no, I don't agree. And then Nguyen Singh said that then, okay, well, let's nominate another guy. There's a Tommy Chan. And then Tommy Chan said, no, I don't accept your nomination.
Yeah.
And then Nguyen Singh said, okay, I nominate Sin Jong Gai. And then Sin Jong Gai said, well, let me think about that.
His face.
Sin said, okay, I accept.
What is this? What committee is this?
I don't remember what it is, though. It's about the financial products kind of.
Oh, I see.
So
so he would be there. But, Lechko's Napoleon certainly got smacked down there because of probably his handling. Well, yeah.
Very good one. Yeah. He looks like Napoleon.
Yeah, exactly, right? He was all, high and mighty when it came to the Northeast New Territories voting.
And then he's that short.
Yeah, exactly. So I call him Lechko's Napoleon. And here's what's interesting. He's the finance functional constituency legislator.
Right.
Finance is 95% English. All the information. That guy can't speak it.
Really?
He sucks.
I never heard that, though.
Like, how do the people in finance communicate with him? His assistants, probably.
Yeah.
But I'm just shocked at his behavior. And I'm glad that he got smacked down like that by his own pro-government people. Not everybody's bad. It's just that they're misguided sometimes. Some people are bad like him.
I think it's a very funny clip because it's like
his face was awesome at the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like even worse than choosing the class captain in primary school.
Yeah. I mean, his face was like he just got rejected for a date or something. Like when he asked a girl out or a guy out and he's like, I got to check with my friends or, I just like to be friends. That's the kind of reaction that he got. And I guess finally, I just want to end it on this is that Dominic Lee of the Liberal Party, I'm calling you out. You're a jackass. Okay? I don't care if that somehow ruins our my relationship with the Liberal Party for bringing them on or anything like that on my other show or this show, but you are a dumbass. Okay, you want to end the visa-free access to Indian passport holders to stop some flood of asylum seekers in Hong Kong. Have you seen a lot lately? I barely have, and I know some. Okay, give me a break. They're not a financial burden on anybody. First of all, they're barely surviving as it is, and now you're just like, oh, well, let's just shoot a bazooka at something when all you need is a fly swatter.
Oh, maybe they can call for Chen Yunhan to help them.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. But he's scoring political points. He's only 30 years old. You're just a little younger than I am, and I have more brains than you do. But somehow you're the leader of the youth wing of the Liberal Party. For goodness sakes, I mean, do you know how much business Indian residents have given Hong Kong? One of the first people in Hong Kong are Indians. And 1841, the first police force were all Sikhs.
And there are a lot of tourists from India as well.
They're the second highest now, and they're still coming in. And the biggest reason why is the visa-free access. They're like, hey, we can go see Disneyland and Ocean Park in 14 days. Disneyland's the big draw for them because it's the closest one to India. So, Dominic Lee, you're a dumbass.
Right.
And we'll be back in the second half.
With Prince Wong.
Yes.